This is WGRZ TV, Buffalo, New York. From News Center 2, here's Susan Banks and Rich Gilman.
Good evening. Cheektowaga residents don't want a throughway entrance on William Street.
But, Rich, even more importantly, they don't want William Street widened to accompany that ramp. And they had their say at tonight's town meeting.
We generate about $160,000 a year in payroll. We pay our taxes to the town. My concern is what's going to happen with businesses like ours that are going to have to go under the demolition gun when something like this takes place.
And that's the bottom line, dollars and cents. Widening William Street to accommodate a throughway ramp would mean demolishing a number of businesses and homes, meaning the town loses assessed valuation. There are some people who feel that the decision to build the ramp is a foregone conclusion, but others are not willing to accept that decision, and they're going to fight it.
It's going to put in an increased number of automobiles driving on William Street, not only on William Street, but also using the side streets where our children play.
Town Supervisor Dan Weber wants the state to put the throughway ramp on Broadway, where, he says, homes and businesses would not be jeopardized. And he introduced a resolution tonight asking the state to do just that.
Isn't it a little too late for the town board to be taking action on this right now? We should have taken action on this months ago. When they had the public hearings, where were the people? When I watch TV, I'm not in favor of it and I'm against it. But the town board should have taken action on that months ago.
That may be so, but Weber and the board made at least one decision tonight.
But this isn't too late to stop it yet. At least we're trying to acquiesce to the people's request.
The bottom line is that Dan Weber wants a referendum to allow the people who might be affected by the ramp to voice their opinions. But, Rich, whether that is legal at this point, they don't know whether the referendum is legal. And also at this point, it is unclear if the town can do much to prevent the ramp.
Also tonight in Cheektowaga, Susan, the town board there voted to approve a $2 million loan for development at the nearly empty Westinghouse plant at the airport. Businessman Paul Snyder is behind that project. Snyder must agree to pay a fee in lieu of taxes before the deal can be finalized. Another meeting tonight, this one in South Buffalo. Councilmember James Kane chaired hearings on police reorganization. Council, in effect, killed the mayor's plan last week, but Kane called tonight's meeting anyway. One of his proposals is for guaranteed manpower in each precinct. The mayor and the police commissioner boycotted the session, claiming Kane was just playing politics. Police in Lockport tonight are continuing their search for a woman missing since early Saturday morning. Her name is Suzanne Courts. She was last seen about 2 a.m. Saturday by her fiancé on the Summit Street Bridge in Lockport. Officials have searched the canal, and they've so far come up with nothing. Susan.
In the country tonight, a very bad accident in Texas where a bus collided with a truck on a rain-slicked highway. At last report, 7 people are dead, another 15 injured. The bus was so badly damaged, rescuers were still pulling victims from the wreckage tonight. In Baltimore, train engineer Ricky Gates, shown here wearing sunglasses, has been indicted on 16 counts of manslaughter. That's 1 count for each of the 16 killed when a Conrail locomotive slammed into an Amtrak train in January. Gates faces 5 years in jail and a $16,000 fine if he's convicted.
From the rails to the sea, the very open sea south of Florida. That's where the now nationally known garbage barge remains anchored tonight. It's carrying 3,000 tons of garbage from Long Island, New York. Florida's governor has set up a committee to see if it poses a health hazard where it sits. Officials of the Chaffee landfill, in the meantime, deny that it's headed here to western New York. The water of the Great Lakes is being poisoned by pollutants. This, according to the State Department of Environmental Conservation. It says a top government priority needs to be the reduction of industrial pollution in the lakes. The Association of Architects says its members can't get insurance for asbestos removal in schools. And as a result, it says thousands of school kids are at risk. And so the group wants legislation protecting architects from lawsuits that might stem from somebody being exposed to asbestos during removal. Otherwise, it claims the job just isn't getting done, and that threatens the lives of children.
The United States Supreme Court says that states may force Rotary clubs to admit women. In a ruling today, the court decided that Rotary International must reinstate a club that lost its charter when it admitted female members. News Center 2's Mike Andre reports tonight that the decision may eventually affect Western New York.
The Supreme Court's decision upholding a California anti-discrimination law means Rotary clubs nationwide are open to women. But the lopsided vote, 7-0, also means the ruling will go farther than that. It is perhaps the strongest signal yet to other private clubs, such as the Buffalo Club, that they cannot continue to allow public business to be conducted by their members while excluding women and minorities. The Kenmore Rotary Club is located in that building behind me. A spokesman for the group said he felt the Supreme Court decision was pretty much inevitable. and said, in fact, he has no problem with women joining his organization, which suits many Western New York women just fine.
I think we'll see the clubs opening up, and that'll make me very happy. I think it's something that needs to come, and I think it's coming, and hopefully it'll be soon.
The executive director of the local YWCA believes the change will be welcome.
And I think that the people of Buffalo have a very high level of sensitivity to this issue, and that they certainly don't want to be behind the times and don't want to, I think, be deliberately exclusivist.
Which is not to say the clubs will open their doors to women overnight. Both Gasca and Castro believe that will take time, and it won't be easy for the first few women who are admitted. But that day may not be too far off. Mike Andre, News Center 2, Buffalo.
A big day tomorrow for millions of illegal aliens living in the United States. It's called Amnesty Day, and illegals have been living in this country since before 1982 can apply for permanent status. Here in Western New York, the Immigration and Naturalization Service has opened a special office to deal with the applicants.
We expect that most people are going to hold back and wait and see what happens. We expect a number of people tomorrow, but not an onslaught.
If you'd like information on the program, call 1-800-777-7700.
About 30 workers at the Curtis Wright plant on Grider Street are still locked out of their jobs tonight. Union officials say a dispute over a new contract is the reason. The old one expired last Friday. Management isn't talking, and the employees say they'll try again tomorrow to go to work. And work will continue tomorrow on the city's proposed 1988 budget. Mayor Griffin's spending plan, as usual, is under fire from the Board of Education, as well as from other groups that rely on city funding. The Common Council will hold hearings before it makes any changes, and they have to do so by May 22nd.
Coming up next on News Center 2, it may be a long, hot summer for those involved in the Iran-Contra scandal.
And a trip on the QE2. It was far from trouble-free. Stay with us.